The music's not playing yet, but it is now. Real, I don't have my mask on. I started a bit early. So I'm going to let the music play a little bit longer. Yeah. I know. Unprofessional. How dare I get unmasked? I didn't want to. I don't know. Sometimes I rush start the damn show just so I can start it. Okay, now I'm maxed up. I got to wait for the beat to loop back to a droppable part. But I appreciate everybody rocking with me. It's 5 people in the chat. All righty. Vigilante Williamson here on the 52nd episode of my show, the Vigilante Williamson Show. Didn't really have last week. I had Thursday Night Throwdown instead. So I wanted to get one done over the weekend. It just would bug me to go too far on that show. I've done it before. I don't want to make a habit out of it. Appreciate everybody being patient with me. Had a dog that he got fixed earlier in the week. He does not like the cone. And he just sits there like his soul is gone. He's just watched The Last Jedi and he just doesn't do anything. And at first I felt bad for him, but I'm like, he's got to get over having that damn cone because I'm not going to let him eat his lack of junk. And Van, appreciate everybody in the chat. Finmer the Ice Wolf. Hell, Finmer. Appreciate you being here. Criticizable the Craze. Hell, no spoon reference. Shout out to the Tick. Vizarel, which I think I had right and messed up. As far as the pronunciation of his name, I appreciate him being here. Ogre Squasher, the producer and benefactor of the channel. I appreciate him being here. It's he inspired the time. I want to make sure I can get a show in between 10 and 4 so you can watch live. Forget that you have seen my face and let no one ever know. And maybe warn the chat that my videos are out. Yeah, is your video out officially? And don't forget, you can actually promote yourself. You're a mod. So if you want to toss your link or your video links in there, feel free, Finmer. Feel free. But yeah. You were I'm not gonna be what was the kids? The kids say no homo? You're a handsome young chap. Finmer. No homo, so to speak. Hell, Wookie Lives Matter, WLM. Waist large mansions. What's up, Finite San Antonio or Finite SA? 2 videos are out on Finmer's channel. Finally, Finver has come back to YouTube. You know what? Yeah, please put your link to your channel in the chat if you can, Finver, and links to your videos if you can. Sup, Sentient Dildo. He says, sup, nerds. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Appreciate you being here. Vizarel is how you pronounce it. So, yeah, I got it. Let's try not to screw it up again. Vizarel is what I'm going with. And Buzz, Sentient Dildo buzzes to all the nerds. We have a lot to talk about. We have talk about China. And finally, people noticing there's something wrong with Disney's relationship with China. I can't help but to wonder if part of that is because China's so pissed at them for being terrible bitches. For being terrible, and when I say terrible bitches, terrible hoes. Terrible at doing what they're supposed to be doing. They've pandered to China with Mulan and Shang-Chi, and they have, really bombed with the people. Shang-Chi has been released. There's a lot of negativity from the Chinese people. So they tried and failed despite all of their support. And so maybe, I don't know, China, I don't know. I haven't actually, you know what, to be honest, a lot of these reports I read live, I kind of go through, but I just kind of skim through them. So we will see. We also got to talk about Gina Carano's show officially being canceled, her ex becoming Highlander, and a lot more. I'm trying to set something up, but I should have did that. There's something I meant to do before starting the show. That's what I get. That is what I get. Hell, Latino Slant. Paulie is in the chat. I appreciate him being in the chat. And he says, "Sup, Romano?" Says Finmer. China, says Vizarel. Oops. There's Finmer's link. The chat jumped. I was trying to say hi to Latino Slant, but I have no problem with one of Finmer's links. Please check out Finmer's videos. He finally has content. 07 corporatism. He says, "Hell, fellas, just here, homies. Appreciate you just being here. Don't trust China. China is asshole. Absolutely." who knows? Maybe China's missing their payments in the Hollywood shields, and now they're starting to talk back. Like as silly as that sounds, that's entirely possible. Entirely possible. Let me see. Okay, maybe I can't do this live. I'm trying to add a drop live. So hold on. Bear with me. Here we go. Yeah, I think I may be able to put this damn thing off. But yeah, so we have a lot to talk about. Yesterday I did a live stream, or last night I should say, did a live stream. Please check that out if you haven't. And also like and share this stream. Sharing is caring. A lot of you people have been sharing. A lot of you, and it's been very beneficial. I appreciate you guys doing that. So please continue to do that. Let's see. All right, I'm about to add this drop, and then we will get into the show. There's no guarantee I'll even use it, but it's just one that I've wanted to have, and I've been meaning to do it. So, all right, it's adding. We will get into the show. Let's see what else people are talking about before we go. Bone, Hellbone. Boom, 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 boom. It says, "What's up, VW?" People check him out. Leave a comment, review. I would like to know how I messed up. Please, it took so long to get Finra to make content. He has 2 videos for you. 2. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And check out his videos. And as he's looking for criticism, as am I. Please help me get better. Please don't just be yes man. Like he kind of sucks, but I'll just be nice. Like let people want to get better. We are not SJWs. Media's looking for the meal. They can't chew on Trump anymore. They will always eat their own. But listen, it's not. They've been funded by China this whole time, like for a while. Like when Trump was still on The Apprentice a while. You know what I mean? China's been a part of the media landscape for a long time. So for them to even criticize them is very it's peculiar. It's peculiar to me. Well, it's much needed, much welcome. But it's not been in their playbook, so to speak. Finally has content, still has no microphone. We're working on that. We'll figure something out. Hopefully, with these lockdowns lifting across the planet, it'll be easier to ship stuff into Angola, or at least ship him out of Angola so he can get him. I'm not sure which would be simpler. Good afternoon, Brightest Day. We were talking about Finra. He was on Brightest Day stream. He was over 100 subs. It's cool to see you channels grow, man. It's cool to pay for it. All the people like Paulie, who's in the chat, have helped me grow. And it's cool to pay that forward to Brightest Day and Fenver, The Wake Down, a few other channels. The Wiki Live Matter has a channel who's constantly beaten by the man, so to speak. But it's cool to see a bunch of people grow and have fun on this platform. And you guys will be past me and past, whoever else before you know it. Trust me, a lot of you guys are really good. So good afternoon, Brightest Day. Climate change is next. Yeah. I wonder how well it'll work because I don't think Joe Normie gives a shit. And also Joe Normie is well aware whose job is going to be taken by a lot of climate change stuff. Real quick, checking the D Live. No one on the D Live, fam. But if you are watching D Live, this is a simul stream. So this is live. And you know what? Let me edit that. Sorry to do so much housekeeping live. This is what happens when I don't have a X-Ray Girl or a Lady Grave Master, or even though Eric K is the mod of mods. Let me just, because I think I need to, the people come into the D Live chat and then I got to look directly at the keyboard because I'm terrible. They say, is this live? I guess it's not because he's not responding. And it's like, no, it is live. Just can't see your chat. Alrighty. So I think that's all the housekeeping we have to do. And I think, see what else has happened. Get a mic pleb, says Cinch Dildo. Number 80. Yeah, he was the number 80 sub. There you go. Hey, shout out to the bots on Twitch for the thoughts on Twitch. Chelsea 6909. Want to become famous? I don't suggest you try this site. So yeah. I'm going to leave Angola next year and return to a sweet Lisbon if the restrictions get down. See, yeah, you've been past me. You've always been past me, Wookie Lies. But I know you just keep getting messed up because they keep taking those 500 subs away. So I didn't mean to refer to you as a smaller channel. You've always been past me. No, I just meant to say that you had a channel. Yeah, because I've never been past you as far as subs. Watch your first video. We're giving it a 0. Ascension Dildo. Be Ascension Dildo. He said it's nice. Thanks, bro. Leave a comment. All right. Hail Nancy V Star. Vigilante Williamson. A bit of stupid spell check. No worries. No worries. Carbon credits incoming. That's already a thing. That's already a thing. Speaking of which, as my Bitcoin just shits the bed, I just gotta hold this shit and ride it out. A lot of that is because Tesla wants carbon credits. They fear Bitcoin may mess up their carbon credits. That's already a thing. Hey girl, how you doing? I've done it. I put content out. Yeah, Fenris text content out. And Chris Oswald Craze is done with his coffee, and I am done with the chat. So we will get into stories of the day and of the weekend. So first things first, and I know it's gonna suck, and it's not surprising, but it's just still, sucks to have it official. And I assume this was going to happen. But Disney is no longer actively developing Rangers of the New Republic. I wonder what took this announcement so long. Or maybe it's just not really an announcement, it's just sort of a report. But a new report claims that Disney and Lucasfilm are no longer actively developing recently announced Disney Plus series, Rangers of the New Republic. A report comes from Variety writer Adam B. Very writes a third announcement of Rangers of the New Republic is not currently in active development. It's really sad because if you watch Mandalorian season 2, the whole thing was Iron Man 2, and they were trying to set up spinoffs, including this. I thought they featured Gina quite well in that season. I think they wanted to spin off for this. They wanted to spin off for Ahsoka, obviously, and I think they were going to spin off the Mandalorianettes as well. So they wanted to spin off all of these different franchises, which is why Gina Carano was so integral to what they were doing. And then, of course, we know what happened in February with her repost that got her in hot water because they were looking for a reason to get rid of her. There's been rumors about her potentially going back, potentially even on set, which I think what happened is there are people who probably wanted her back. There are people who probably didn't want to do this, which is cancel this show, who work for Lucasfilm, if they're Favreau or other people, because there are other people that work there outside of people we know. But I do think there were people in Disney who wanted her back. I think there are people in Disney who want Kathleen Kennedy gone. That may even have a reason why this China report is out that we'll get into later. But unfortunately, it is not to be. And so let's finish up the report. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy announced the Rangers of the New Republic back in December during Disney's 2020 investor presentation. She stated, "Today, I'm excited to share with you that John and Dave are concurrently developing 2 new spin-off series exclusively for Disney Plus. One, The Rangers of the New Republic, the other featuring fan favorite Ahsoka Tano." And again, they were featured like they wanted them to be spun off, at least in my opinion, if you watch the season back. And you can check my reviews on this channel. I got to keep plugging stuff. She added, within the timeline of The Mandalorian, these interconnected shows, along with future shows, will excite new audiences, embrace our most passionate fans, and culminate in a climactic story event. So whatever is being canceled with Rangers of the New Republic affects every other show because they were going to attempt some MCU moment. Unless you know how big her firing really was, they really destroyed like a huge part of their continuity by selfishness and by bullshit, because they clearly were planning to do a MCU like event. If you have a climactic story event that involves multiple shows, and one of those shows is canceled because you fired the lead actress over a retweet or repost on Instascam, wow, you know what I mean? Like, you literally put in jeopardy all of those shows. It didn't just affect Rangers of the New Republic. It just didn't affect Gina Carano. So you can understand why people will want her back. It's like, wow, you just destroyed everything we do. It's like anyone who, and I'm sure a lot of people can commiserate with this at work, doing a project or going down a path and putting a lot of investment in a project or a new way of doing things, all to have it scrapped at the last minute or a few weeks in, and you've spent like months and months on something. That's what this feels like. Let's see. In their press materials for Investor Day 2020, they worded it a little differently. Set in the timeline, The Mandalorian, Rangers of the New Republic is a new live-action series from executive producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni that will intersect future stories and culminate in a climactic story event. So pretty much the same thing. A little difference in the wording. So, okay, Corey Van Dyke tweets it like we said before. This was a Cara Dune, Bo-Katan series before everything went down. That was the plan, according to the Star Wars scooper Corey Van Dyke. He's from Kessel Run Transmissions. I've heard of them. Their YouTube channel. They have a lot of Star Wars news. They've broken a lot of rumors. As right or wrong as anyone. If you keep up with them, Verizon, they're better than Mike Zero. I can say that they're better than Mike Zero, and they tend to at least have sources and double check things. So I believe them. I definitely think they were trying to spin both of them off into stuff. They had fucking Sasha Banks DDT Boba Fett through a table when any other thing could have happened because they wanted this Rangers of the New Republic, and I think it was a little wham and stuff too. I got a lot of pushback on that. I just thought it's Boba Fett. You just I'd rather them had done it to Mando than Boba Fett. I'm being dead serious. Anyways, fellow Scooper Bestman Bulletin also claimed the show was supposed to star Gina Carano. I think that was obvious again. The Rangers of the New Republic was announced in December alongside the Ahsoka series, both taking place within the Mandalorian timeline. And again, talking about the crossover event. Since the announcement of the series, Gina Carano was let go by Lucasfilm, and this is most likely the reason why development of Rangers has come to a grinding halt. You think they would try to reshape it, but they got to figure out what to do about her story-wise. I think the Book of Boba Fett, they get away without having her, but they really got to figure something out. So technically, Bounding is correct. There was no official announcement that Cara Dune was ever going to be in Rangers of the New Republic. It was all speculated. Again, if you watch the season back, if you look at how they shot her, they made her to be a badass, and I think it was for spinoffs, but it was never officially announced, to be fair. There was a report in the Hollywood Reporter following Disney's firing that implied she was supposed to helm the show. Aaron Couch, Tatiana Siegel, and Bori Kitts. That 5 people writing an article thing is weird to me. The actress, whose sources say made $25,000 to $50,000 per episode, which, I mean, listen, I think a lot of people would be happy with that. We do 3 episodes. It's like, 75, if $150K is a lot, but I mean, you would think she can get more from Disney. That's neither here nor there. And this is another reason why I don't think she needs to go back, because that's all she's getting. I know she can get more on her own. But anyways, she was poised to be touted during the presentation, in which Kathleen Kennedy announced 10 new Star Wars shows, including Rangers of the New Republic, a series that seemed tailor-made for Carano. So they even applied it. And was the Variety? No, Hollywood Reporter. They would cite an anonymous source said she was originally in that presentation when they announced all those things, and they put her office. So she was originally supposed to be a part of that presentation. It became just Mrs. Fade in. Is that it? First Revelant stuff. I think they get to go back into what happened. Yeah. The BS about her being firing and Chapek at the investor meeting or investor call saying he doesn't see it as left-leaning or right-leaning. And we know that's BS. So in general, this is not news per se. This is something that we all thought would happen. But it's good to see. It's good to see what happened. And Paul, I didn't put them down. I bigged them up. He says, don't put other channels down, but do better. I bigged them up. Oh, Mike Zero. Mike Zero was right. I actually like Mike Zero. I give Mike Zero respect. Holy fucking crap. I always say that because I can't believe this happened. Ogre Squasher, anonymously, because he's not really anonymous. He's the only one who's willing to do this. He's the benefactor of the channel. And I appreciate him beyond belief, and I cannot believe him. Please say something. He doesn't say anything. Ogre Squasher 101, living off his namesake with these insanity super chats that literally keep the lights on in the vigilante cave. Very literally sometimes. Thank you so much, Ogre Squasher, with $101.81. An insane super chat that's incredibly appreciated, brother. Thank you. And I hope you're here. And what do you say? He does toss his regular chat. 101 reasons to get a PO box. Okay. Oh, you basically bought one. I'll just get one out of this money and just get a 3-month one because I may be moving in 3 months anyway. So I'll just do it. You've bought it. I'll just do it. I just have to do it. I just have to. So what's going on with the Mound Pounder? So coffee's done. Okay, Fimmer's being invited to Nancy's show, which I also need to be on one day. Identify as the Mound Pounder 3000. Uh-oh. And Fimmer wants to do one of those shows. That's awesome. Oh 07 Mound Pounder 3000. Hell Theme Park Casual. Hell Theme Park Casual. Using Gina Carano as a visual reference for a female character of mine. That's pretty cool. Chris Eyes with the craze. I don't care anymore. Disney's nothing but forced blasphemy. They made the golden goose transgender, and now it poops out rotten eggs. That's a very good way of putting it, Wookie. They really destroyed things. So yeah, I get it, man. Part of me doesn't care either. I'm reporting it because I find it interesting. I'm more interested. I want to see what happens with Disney going forward. I hope they get their comeuppance. That's my interest in reporting Disney. That's why I'm reporting the China thing. I hope somehow fate gives Disney their comeuppance, not just for the Gina thing, for everything. For everything. The virtue signaling, their relationship with China, which bothers me. Everything, the spitting in the face of the fans, the buying and destruction of so much of pop culture. I want somehow some comeuppance from them. So that's why I report this stuff. I have no hope in future Star Wars. I will only watch it if it's approved. Like I'm behind. I need to watch Invincible. The only reason I'm watching Invincible is everyone told me it's good. It's something to watch. My brother keeps telling me it's something that, and once people tell me it's good, then I'll check it out. So if the Book of Boba Fett is good, I'll find out after the whole season's done because I got to wait till the whole season. Thank you, WandaVision and Ralph Boner. And then I'll see if it's good. But otherwise, I don't want to. I'm with Central Dildo. Let it burn. Shout out to Seth Rollins. And yeah, like I said, Paulie, I was big. I kind of put down Mike Zero, but Mike Zero was right. I was bigging up Kessel Run transmissions. Exactly. Let the mouse burn in the house made of his own fire and stupidity. Disney, the wannabe China. And again, Ogre Squasher buying my P.O. box live on air. I'm gonna just get a small one. Whoops Who Anonymous. Yeah, it was Ogre Squasher. He's never really, he's awesome. He's the king of all. He's the benefactor of the channel. I need to send stuff to him, and he's trying to send stuff to me. And all you guys are great. It's not just him who does a lot of these super chats, man. I don't want him to scare you off of super chatting if you want to support. And I'm not trying to force you into it if you're not. Let's check the D Live real quick because I'm good at missing them. But like your support, Ogre Squasher, is important. The entire chat and everyone who has ever sent me any damn thing is important, man. It's you guys keep me monetized, even though I'm not monetized, even though I haven't met their criteria. I'm still monetized because of you, and it means a lot. So feel free to toss even $1. It all helps. So disappointed Disney pisses me off, and the WB2 now W5. Oh, what the fuck? Just a typo. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Everything's pandering to China. Everything on Earth, or everything in pop culture. Hell, Toxic Man Flu of the Dix Division, aka Toxic Man Flu, king of all the Dix Division. Appreciate it. Aunt Gina Carano from a wealthy family. I don't think money is the issue for her, but at the same time, you can't accept. Yeah, I don't think money is the issue for her. That's why she probably got paid so little. But I think in general, sometimes you just got to accept a certain, like she should have got at least 100K an episode just for some sort of like standardization. But I'm sure she didn't care. I'm sure she wanted to be a part of the system at that point because she didn't know it was bonkers. At least that's what I believe. And it all went to shit. And I hope she gets paid. And I know she's supposed to be like a producer or whatever for whatever she does with the Daily Wire. But my main point outside of anything is she can make more outside of that. That's not a high bar to pass if you have a lot of connections that she has. Apparently, they ruined Disneyland. I've never been to Disneyland, and now there's no point to do it. Disney ruined Disneyland too. Fucktars. Ogre money laundering again. There's a 9-0 chance, but I appreciate it anyway. Ogre's money laundering. I want to be an impressive overlord, so I do worse, says Toxic Man Flu. So he's not going to do better. He's not taking your advice, Bally. Disney's been dead ever since they started turning things into live action. Yeah. The live actionication of all their cartoons is terrible. Terrible. And yeah, before that too. Disney died in the 2000s. That was the last era. I feel like and really Pixar was the only thing in the 2000s that was, to me, good. The 90s was their heyday. and they've been living off of having these different patches in history of heydays, whether it's the 60s or earlier stuff, the earlier animation. And so they have all this quote unquote classic IP of their own. Then they buy all the classic IP else, everything else that exists as far as Marvel, Star Wars, and the 20th Century Fox library. And so they now have ownership of all this stuff, and they have the ability to ruin. And again, I want to see them have their comeuppance. I shall make a new Disney and Star Wars with hookers and blackjack. Okay. No shame in that. I grew up watching Disney, says Vizarel, having so many memories. Now they're walking a zombie, infecting everything. Yeah, like I just said, they own so much of our IP, so much of our history, so much of our culture. Y'all watch indie busts way loose and take over. You talking about independent projects? I agree. I think independent projects are going to be a lot more abundant. I think the independent media scene will be where it's at in the next 10 years. At least I hope so. Invincible is good, except Amanda. She's an awful human being. Is she the girlfriend? I've heard the girlfriend's a bit annoying. And TMF saying hi to Criticism. And Toxic, yes, be the best oppressive overlords you can be. So again, do better. I guess he's right in that regard. So do better by doing worse. Toxic TMF. Don't you mean Amber, the black chick? Is that what? So now we don't even know her name. You don't know my name. And I'm sorry about the singing. I agree. Vizarel grew up on it too with Disney and Disneyland. So sad. Yeah, that girl is the only thing great about her is her community service. I hope you like Star Wars collectibles. I do indeed. Man. You don't have to send me a thing, but I am gonna get a PO box since you've told me to, and you're the director of the channel. I think that she's doing all out of sick thrill superiority. You're talking about the character. Last good thing Disney did was the House of Mouse. Like the show, I vaguely remember it. I guess it's delusion to want to do something to help others, but it actually makes her feel superior. Yeah, there's a lot of that in general. And listen, most social workers or most people in fields they help people are there to help people. To be fair, but that does exist. That God complex, one may say a hero complex, which is why I'm not a hero, just an anonymous citizen journalist. Skipped her scene and just started Invincible last week. I really like it a lot. Yeah, everyone's pretty positive of it. I wonder if it's too bloody. I've seen little clips in the memes. And it's just blood, gore. It's like, sometimes it gets to me. But Disney, they're canceling stuff and maybe getting canceled themselves. At least I hope so. We can hope. The Hollywood Reporter, who's a mainstream media rag, they've been someone who's attacked us, who's held water for Disney, who's bent over for Disney, bent over for China themselves. But now they're starting to ask a few questions. From deal frenzy to decoupling, is the China Hollywood romance officially over? That's an interesting question. 5 years after an unprecedented era of frenzied West deal-making, cash flow has stopped, Donald Trump's trade war lingers, censorship is on the rise, and human rights abuses in the Middle Kingdom have upended business prospects for the U.S. film industry, and I would also say the sports industry, particularly the NBA. It's hard to know what's going to happen. And actually, that kind of affects Disney as well because of ESPN and their connection to the NBA. In the run-up to Chloe Zhao's historic Best Director win for Nomadland at the 93rd Oscars, and I didn't see it, and I didn't see the movie, so I have no idea if she deserved it. Disney began tiptoeing around the potential landmines in regard to China, the director's home country and the studio's most important international market. Please note in your ongoing coverage of Nomadland that Chloe Zhao is a Chinese filmmaker. An executive for Disney-owned Searchlight emailed the members of the Hollywood press on March 4th. You may accurately refer to her as Chinese or a Chinese national. And it's ironic because Chloe Zhao is very much persona non grata to China because she's been critical of the CCP, which, to be fair, a lot of people who are Chinese, even in China, are. And there's people who are very loyal to them as well, but that's neither here nor there. A number of the news outlets, including the New York Times, have mistakenly referred to Zhao as an Asian American, but the bluntness and blanket nature of the provoso was conspicuous. As it would turn out, Disney had abundant reason to be concerned of how the provenance and perceived allegations of its rising star director, who was also helming the studio's forthcoming $200 million Marvel tentpole Eternals, holy shit! They spent $200 million on this movie. Whoo, that's a side note as a hell. Holy shit, that's going to be a disaster. I don't think they'll even make. I don't think they'll even make $200 million on the movie. And I could be wrong. For months, the studio had been making clandestine efforts to avoid agitating the Chinese Communist Party. When it came to Zhao, who was born and raised in Beijing but attended high school in London and LA and college in Massachusetts and New York. The simple fact that she now lives in Ojai, California was certain to irk the CCP and provoke China's notorious internet ultra-nationalists whose MO was to aggressively scrutinize any Chinese artist who achieved significant success in the West, searching for hints of this loyalty to the motherland. So I don't know this about China. I'm not going to act like I'm an expert, but if Disney is billions of dollars of contracts in with China, shouldn't they know what they want? That's the most insane thing about this whole thing. You spend so much effort pandering in China. You put Chadwick Boseman in a helmet. You get Finn off of a poster, and you don't even know what they want. You can't even be a good evil villain. How did you fuck up with Mulan so bad where they hate it? How did you filmed in a concentration camp just to make a movie that the Chinese people and the CCP hate? This is proving one of my points. Despite all the wokeness, despite what they destroyed of our culture, they're just not good. The decision makers at Disney lack the talent and skill to create good material because they can't even do propaganda right. They can't even realize, hey, you know what? We need to pick our director. If you were going on, I'm Vigilante Williamson because, the man doesn't like me criticizing China. Thank you, YouTube. Jeez, I'm my mama's son. Don't do that. It's disrespectful. In any event, they don't even know. And I didn't know this again, but I don't have billions of dollars of contract with China. How did they not know that Chinese artists will be scrutinized? How did they not know? Why aren't they, if they're going to pick things based upon China, why aren't they asking them? Why can't they even be good evil villains? They can't even make propaganda right. All right, I'm done writing, at least for now. Sources say that, let me get some water actually. Hydrate or die. I'm not planning on dying yet. Sources say that in late 2020, Searchlight publishers persuade the small New York-based filmmaker magazine to remove a quote from a 2013 Zhao profile in which the budding auteur explained inspiration from her first feature film, Songs My Brother Taught Me, about a Native American teenager looking for an escape from the tough conditions of the South Dakota Pine Ridges Indian Reservation. It goes back to where I was a teenager in China, being in a place where there are lies everywhere. Welcome to the party, pal. Actually, you know what? I could have used the drop. She said, you felt like you were never going to be able to get out. A lot of info I received when I was younger was not true, and I became very rebellious towards my family and my background. I went to England, and suddenly I relearned my history, studying political science in a liberal arts college was a way for me to figure out what is real, arm yourself with information, and then challenge that too. Holy shit, Chloe Zhao was pretty base in 2013. There's no way you could say this now. Even fuck just pissing off China. You'll piss off a lot of liberals by challenging information and think free thought. We covered yesterday that free thinking, critical thinking is white supremacy. So yeah, not sure she'd be welcome. And I missed the little thing I was trying to put it in, if you're wondering. So yeah, that's pretty incredible. Before I go on too far, let's see what you guys are talking about, because I hate missing a lot of stuff. Chris out of the Craze says yes, delusion won. Yeah, I got that. Got that. Watched it. Oh, she isn't in the comment. I believe I'm still reading it though. Let's see. Last good thing Disney did was figuring out how to make money on everyone wearing Mickey's severed scalp around their parks. Yeah. Disney is looking weak and Hollywood is throwing them to the wolves. Thank goodness. I want Disney. Like I said, I want their comeuppance. Hey, everybody. Hell, Killy Child. Hell, Ironcast. I don't know why I didn't say hi to my Michigan brother. He says, what's going on? I don't know. Not Marvin Gaye. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And maybe that's what's going on. Disney's burning money like there's no tomorrow. They try to pander to all sides and piss it off everybody. Maybe. I only read Robert Kirkman's Walking Dead graphic novels. I need to start the Invincible comics. I really like the gore in the story. I think the gore might be off-putting. The burning of Disney is intentional. If their stock plummets, it will become more attractive to Chinese purchase. Maybe. Think what will happen to Pooh. Interesting thing, you know the meme I have in this very thumbnail? I could not find that meme for nothing. I had to go back to a sports war videos and do a bunch of crap. That's why LeBron's arm is red. And I put Kathleen Kennedy's head on it. Yeah, that Pooh meme, they've done a lot of censorship on Pooh. Visual, at least this is what Chris Adams Cray says. So far, it's pretty much frame for frame, save Amber. I see. Critical thinking is bad. All hail the parent state, basically. Hell no, Emporio. Continue my Star Wars video work. Cool. 20th century Disney Black Heart or Heart, Disney 21st century Broken Heart. Hell Glenser. Let's keep going because I think this is this article is very interesting. In most contexts, Zao remarks an ambition young artist reflecting on the memories of a teenage angst and rebellion that inform her work would be innocuous. And if it would, well, I don't know about that. Like I said, in this area, I think it still would get some heat even over here. And if it weren't already de rigueur for the American film industry, Disney's behavior would be a scandal. The United States' most iconic media brand going out of its way to preemptively aid an authoritarian government in censoring an artist's interview in American media outlet. It's not a scandal because of you. Nothing pisses me off where media members who are holding water in these Hollywood bags basically all, work for Hollywood. And they're saying, well, this would be a scandal under normal circumstances. Well, fucking make it a scandal. Stop holding water for fucking Disney. This is bullshit. They hold water for all these fucking Hollywood companies. They do their fucking bidding, and then they'll toss in little things. Well, this would be a scandal in normal circumstances. Well, do your fucking job and report it. Make it a bigger deal. You have the ability to do so. Fuck you, Hollywood Reporter. But as it turned out, the studio's efforts were for naught. While his risk assessment was indeed accurate, while the quote had been removed from the filmmaker's website, archive versions were unearthed in China shortly after Zhao's Best Director. When the internet's forever, so I don't know why they thought that would work. But her Best Director went at the Golden Globes, setting off social media backlash that prompted Chinese authorities to cancel the local release of Nomadland in April and expunge most mentions of Zhao from the internet. Jesus Christ. And that's coming for a place near you. That style authoritarianism, because it's already starting here, and I think that's the next step. People being unpersonal like that, it's sickening. And again, because we have the Hollywood Reporter normalizing this shit for years and years, all these different magazines, all these different levels of media, entertainment media, sports media, normal media, all holding water for China for years and years and years. This shit will be normalized, and this shit will be a part of the system before you know it, unless we can stop it, which I think we can. The controversy reached a zenith with the Oscars being fully censored in China. To be fair, they were borderline censored in America, as no one watched. Just as a homegrown hero was capturing the film world's biggest prize. While Zhao has a great many admirers in the Chinese film industry, amongst local movie buffs, her achievement doesn't exist to the 1.4 billion people living in the Chinese internet or China's internet firewall. The prospect of an Eternals release in China is murky. The CCTV 6 China movie channel recently aired the U.S. release dates for a number of upcoming films, but omitted the Eternals as well as Marvel's Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. Insiders say Chinese regulators were equally upset with the Oscar nom in a short doc category for Do Not Split, which chronicles the 2019 to 2020 Hong Kong against encroaching Chinese authority. Okay, so the protest in Hong Kong, so they didn't like that either. Who cares? What you did to Hong Kong is fucking evil. What you're doing is fucking evil because you're an evil regime. The case of the missing quote and its abject failure as a minor conspiracy and analysis of studio chicanery is indicative of the dense thicket of sensitivities U.S. media companies must navigate as they attempt to maintain their enormous business interests in China, the Hollywood Reporter included. As the film sector emerges from the COVID pandemic, not to mention Trump's aggressive trade war, which probably wasn't aggressive enough. The Hollywood-China relationship is at a crossroads. The U.S. market share is a downward trajectory as local fare is finding great attraction in the Middle Kingdom, multiplexed in Hollywood imports. And 2019, the last pre-pandemic business world business year of new normalcy. The Hollywood Studios collective revenue in China fell 2.7% compared to the previous year, being the first direct decline in generations. They were already declining in China, believe it or not. Meanwhile, Hollywood is facing criticism stateside for bending over backwards to appease the authoritarian regime. Amid a new climate of direct geopolitical rivalry with China, many analysts believe that U.S. studios will be lucky if they can retain the foothold they once had, let alone make any meaningful progress toward expanding the market or growing revenue. The comedy Hi Mom has become China's highest grossing release in 2021, making $841 million. I never heard this is a Chinese comedy, it looks like. How about that? For decades, there have been a promise of cooperation with the West across all sectors. Let me see. What else do we have? Shoo! I don't know if I'm going through this whole thing. This is a very, very long article. Oh boy. There's a lot. This is a long report, but you know, at the same time, I guess there's a lot to unpack. Holy smokes. Real quick, let me see what you guys are talking about. Because I think, you know, for our intents and purposes, media-wise, a lot of it's already been covered, and I see a lot of people in the chat. So let me see if I can say hi. Hail, New Bomb Turk. It's Hail, New Nerd Porio and Glenzer. Saying hi to you guys again. Ogre Squasher saying hi to people. A lot of people saying hi. You know what? Thank you guys for saying hi to each other every time you walk in. Everyone says hi. Everyone is so nice to each other. Everyone says, hey, what's up? That's the coolest shit on earth. Yeah, I've noticed that your Twitch was New Bomb like that. No D Live people. Just appreciate it. Check out stream elements because I missed stuff. None of that. All right. Just always want to make sure I'm not missing anything. But this is, you know, I got to give the Hollywood Reporter credit for at least this. This is a pretty in-depth report. I'll probably read a lot of it. I'll try to read more of it. I'm trying to skim it. But it's too intense. That's a lot. It'll take a long time getting through everything. Okay. Trying to get my Star Wars videos done in time for May 25th. I'm in the editing phase. Good luck, man. Good luck. Later on. All right, Criticizable. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, gotta spread the love. Not sure you're checking out Culture. I didn't mean to compete with him, but shout out to Coach Casino. Hell, mobile right now, so my hailing will be erratic. No problem, 70s. Appreciate you being here. And later, TC there, get a spoon. Shout out to the Tick and the Exit. People saying hi to my man 70s. May the Schwartz be with you, criticizing the craze. Yeah. I like that. Shout out to Spaceballs. I watched A-Boy and His Dog as you recommended. 70s recommended to Nerd Porio Lifeform. It was okay. It was incomplete. The Evil Down Under still there with Whiteface and all. I see. Boy and His Dog is a good flick. I haven't seen it. Apologies for the accidental timeout. Oh no, is the Nerd Porio Lifeform been timed out? No, hit the wrong button. Sorry, Nerd Porio. I like this chat. I like you too, Visitor. I think the chat likes you. I appreciate you being here. Nerd Porio, please post so I know you're back okay. No, 70s in authoritarian mode. We're talking about China. I have the red stuff on it. It's the Flash. Oh no, I've influenced the 70s rock fan to become an authoritarian. Don't lie, you meant to do that. No. Nerd Porio, come back to us. Don't leave us. He says never. We'll never know. Was that an act? It's like a wrestling angle where they accidentally hit somebody with a chair. You don't know if it was intentional or not. That's what that feels like. Man, I'm embarrassed. You know, I've done that before. I think it's a common thing for mods. Now, you know what? I cannot start this show with good conscience until Nerd Porio comes back. Get in line. he's embracing it. Get in line, peasants. Doesn't matter if it was accident now. Now the power. He's drunk with the power. 70s rock fan. He thought he was drunk off of expensive whiskey. No, now he's drunk from the power of the chat. And I hope Nerd Porio comes back as I skim through this in-depth article. Very in-depth article. So, you know, I am going to skip through it. I'll try to cover as much of it as possible because I think there's still analysis for it. Before getting all the way into it, though, I think the most interesting thing I think is Hollywood is starting to realize it's coming to a crossroads on China. A lot of things are starting to realize they're coming to a crossroads on China. Oh, so yeah, he went to the backup account, so I can feel a little bit better. Uh, Brian Ladowski, who's Nerdportal's secret identity, I probably shouldn't say it, but it's there on the screen. Nerdportal is timed out still, but this is my other account, so he's timed out, but he's taking off his mask just to show up here. Cam says hell. No, Nerdportal didn't leave. That 70s rock fan, drunk with power, timed him out, so he had to use a different account. You think when YouTube put an undo function for stuff like that? No, they want more chaos. And hell, 70 says Fimmer never post on the phone without glasses on. Yeah. Of course, I know Nerdport. Oh, he's me. Yeah. As I said, this back. He took off his mask to just show up, and I appreciate you being back, Nerdport. I haven't gone by the name of Nerdport since before all of you were born. How about that? Sup, Turk? Wait till you mod for a channel with a bunch of trolls bashing people with the banhammer gets fun. You know what? I knock on wood, do not have any trolls unless you count Cinch and Dildo, which I don't think he's a troll. He's just opinionated, so to speak. Okay, let's get into this. And again, I just think it's interesting that finally they're realizing the crossroads they have with China. And I think part of it is because they're failing so miserably at pleasing China. So China's already pissed with them. So this relationship has to come to an end. If there's going to be any meaningful, when you consider how much impact China may have had on this country, there has to be a decoupling. And when you talk about the past 365, 108, 18 months, the impact that China has had on this country, it has been insane. It's been insane. I mean, from everything to who bought the bricks. A lot of people blame Emperor Palpatine for everything that goes wrong. But he's a GS, if you're wondering who Emperor Palpatine is. But, it's not just him. Got to remember the Evil Republic themselves. So let's see what you guys are talking about. So Toxic Man Flu, you control me. I'm not inviting trolls. As you can see, 70s is quick with the banhammer, so you may want to chill. And yeah, we want you to come back as Nerd Portal because we want to make sure that account still works. At VW, since he thinks Sentient thinks he's a prick. I see what you did there. Jedi or Ricket forgetful. Shaking my head. Hey Cam, and Nerd Portal's back as Nerd Portal. Cool. Hey Turk. You can start drinking again. He's back. There you go. Hell Wookie. It says Toxic Man Flu of Dick's Division. SW is a Jedi propaganda piece. Maybe. Star Wars, yeah, maybe they are. Show from the Sith side. Okay. China currently forbids foreign ownership or investment into any video platform operating within its borders. So any meaningful trade concession in the category will require a rewriting of Chinese law. The country's stance on consumer data is also highly protectionist, while technological independence is one of Beijing's central policy priorities. Together, such factors augur directly for U.S. streamers, analysts say. China's usual MO in such negotiations would be to agree to let video platforms sell slightly larger but strictly limited quantities of content to its counterpart, Chinese video service, such as Netflix did with a small batch of originals, leading the Chinese streamer IQ, I think, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, 2017. Netflix is now a paying member of the MPAA and has never been able to establish its service in China, and the monetary value of the IQ deal was thought to be very low, so they didn't get much money for importing a lot of originals to that streaming service, it looks like. Limitations of this arrangement for the U.S. side are immediately apparent. The power of streaming direct-to-consumer business model revolves around amortizing content costs and leveraging data and revenue from a global subscriber base, not secondary sales to an underdeveloped ancillary market. So basically, Netflix makes money when they get all of the money directly. They don't make money from licensing their shit to China. There's not a market in this. That really doesn't behoove them. Again, I think that's why we have China decoupling. They're starting to realize we're not gonna make more money. We've just been bending the knee because Hollywood, unfortunately, has a lot of people with a horror mentality, especially up the top of a lot of these companies, and they don't realize they're getting played because they're so quick to bend the knee for the extra little bit of green. They don't realize they're not really making that much. Let's see. So this would be a Pyrrhic victory. So you get a little bit of money from selling content. It also helps it grow its own subscriber base, and then they become a bigger global player and enter the U.S. market and other developing markets that are completely important to you because there are no reciprocal regulations preventing them from doing that. So not a great deal. Yeah, that's another thing. You build up that platform, and then that platform can move internationally. Let's see. Within the U.S. government, meanwhile, there's a pushback from a hardline approach to China, which I highly doubt from this current administration with Beijing Biden. The only major policy area where there's deep bipartisan political agreements, such as sentiments, are now broadly reflected around the U.S. public as well. Again, I think it's really China's role in our country. When you talk about their role in our education system, their role in our media, their role in a lot of the social unrest, I've joked and admitted the Red Dawn scenario is completely potentially true with how much they've impacted and weakened our country and funded a lot of intersectionality while making it so, feminism is censored, and they're trying to make their men more masculine. Meanwhile, intersectionality is everywhere and rampant. That's not a coincidence. Not a coincidence. In the wake of Orange Man's administration abrupt reframing of China as an urgent economic and geopolitical rival, which I agree with, American perceptions around the country has shifted as quickly as trade policy did. A Pew Research Center says in March 4th found 67% of Americans feel cold towards China, 21 percentage points up from the 46% who said the same in 2018. Roughly 9 in 10 adults, 89%, consider China a competitor or enemy. I agree. 90% of adults think that China are a competitor. Wait a second. Are you doing research on children? Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't give a fuck what a 10-year-old thinks about China. They don't know shit. I don't give a fuck what an 18-year-old thinks about China, but at least start there. So let's see. Or rather than a partner, 48% from 32% 3 years later think limiting China's power and influence should be a top priority for the U.S. I agree with those sentiments. While Hollywood continues to look the other way when it comes to China's human rights and abuse, Congress does not. I can unfortunately disagree with that, with what's happened. In February, Senator Jeff McClurky, Democrat out of Oregon, introduced legislation to the Senate that will require President Beijing Biden to create an interagency task force to develop and execute government strategy to monitor and address Chinese government. So a bunch of fluff, this looks like. So organization, basically, it looks like there's a bipartisan legislation to monitor China a lot more. And it is bipartisan. You see some D's and some R's involved. So let's see. This chart shows Chinese and US box office market. So as you can see, these are in billions or 100 million. Okay. Yeah, these are billions. So 7.4 billion in 2016, 8 billion for China in 2018, 9 billion, 9 billion. So each year there's an increase of some sort. And in this 2020, because of the global pandemic, they actually outpassed the United States. So right now, and it's not just in box office. I think they've outpassed us in GDP. And we've actually made it through the end of the article by skimming through. So I think there's a lot of interesting stuff, as I see a lot of people have started to shuffle out. Potentially because of my man Culture, and potentially because this article was just long as shit. So let's see what you guys are talking about, and I'll kind of give my take. And now I can really get my band hammer going. Says 70s. I never agree with the idea that a mostly Jedi influence would be a net balance. Yin Yang doesn't work that way. Why should the Force? How about that? Hate the phone keyboard. I have enough trouble typing. You and me both. Hell, thanks for keeping it on the grind. Hey, I appreciate you being here, Cam. I appreciate you being here. Did you hear about Freddie Prinze Jr.? take on it. Dude lost his mind. I heard about Freddie Prinze Jr. Messing with ass and sounding an idiot, but I'm not sure what is his take on China. Who cares what he thinks about China? But I would love to know what happened. If it's real. Don't forget the Force is female. Stop looking for logical consistency in it. The Force, you know what? If we really think about the Force, when you talk about metachlorians and all this shit, there's a lot of issues with the Force. Also, Anakin being too old, does that mean the Jedi Academy having a nursery? That's another creepy thing. The fuck y'all doing around all these kids? Yeah, that's what I heard from these two. Talk about Freddie Prinze Jr. is an idiot. Toxic Man flew with Dick's division. I take responsibility. Nerd Porter's taking responsibility. Vigilante Williamson is a liar. He's not a Vigilante Williamson, and his father's name is not William. William's son, with his surname comes from. I'm streaming the television. How do you know my father's name is not William? It could be. Could be. You don't know. It's actually not. No, it's not. So yeah, but I'm not a vigilante. It's a name. It's a name. And yes, that is William's son, John's son. They all actually come from that. You know, you were such and such a son, and that's how the surname came. So yeah, no, I'm not a vigilante. I never said I was. That was just my name. You're not a man flu either, Toxic. You're not an actual toxic man flu. You mean Mr. Sarah Michelle Gellar? Yeah. Troll, not tell. I see. Yeah, time has not been kind to him. Nothing's been kind to him. Mr. Mom. Thought Vigilante Williamson was a vigilante Viking or something out of Vinland Saga. No, Vigilante Williamson is just a real quick origin. Just I know it's a joke or whatever, but you know what's funny? Because the fucking group fucking copyright struck me because they're bitches. But before AEW started, Kenny Omega, I really liked his stuff, and he's a wrestler, and his name Kenny Omega is like first name is a regular name, last name is a silly name, whatever. Omega. I did the opposite, so Vigilante, just because I'm doing the mass thing, and Williamson because I like Corliss Williamson, the former Detroit Piston, and Mexican Iron Man tipping a smoke friendly 420. What did he have to say? Can't stay long. Got to go. Ready for the Purple Valkyrie in an hour, but I want to swing by and show support. Go get him on this article. Hell, I appreciate it, man. And yeah, we'll kind of break it down. We already went through it. Not every single bit, but a good portion of it. And I kind of break down my thoughts a little bit more. And I appreciate. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. Every super chat is appreciated, never obligated. I know a lot of people there's a lot of different streams going right now, so people are in and out. So please, share and sub, share, sub, all that good stuff. And thank you, Mexican Iron Man, for the support. On behalf of all SJWs everywhere, I do not accept your apology as you've done nothing. I see. Williamson or Williams Dolter? I don't know. Oh, I see what you did there. Such a dildo. Even though I'm fat enough, got moves big enough, right? I was mentioning his Star Wars take. Okay, yeah, I did see the Star Wars take. I did see that. He thinks he knows everything about it. Yeah, he's a complete clown, man. Complete clown. Is there a toxic man? Good question. Toxic might not even be a man. That's a very good true. Oh no, his secret's outed. I outed him. Oh boy. But he is from the Dix division. Yeah, so it's not a complete lie. We do know that. Yay, origin. Okay, a little bit of origin. I'm glad it's real like that. No, everybody doesn't know the story. I've reset that a few times. I can attest I have a working penis, which does not necessarily mean I'm a male. Not in 2021, it doesn't. It has, you don't know. Should I cancel myself then, Tox? There is a Mrs. Flu. There you go. There you go. So, in general, I am happy to see some criticism of China. I'm starting to think that a lot of people are only criticizing China because daddies ran out of money. They're not keeping them looking nice anymore. So now they have to fight back. This is as much of a bunch of people who were complicit with China, who were complicit with all the atrocities, and now they see public sentiment is shifting. They also see the fact that Disney cannot do it right. They can't even pander right. They're making less money. They're cutting shittier deals. And I think they're finally saying, you know what? We can't continue to pander to China. And this is a good thing. If you want to know one of the biggest factors of us getting our pop culture back, it is to remove shadow funding. As much as everyone blames Palpatine for everything, one of the big shadow funders of a lot of our shitty pop culture was China. And it has been for years because they've been subsidizing Disney and Warner Brothers and a lot of Disney properties, including ESPN and the NBA, which is not technically a Disney property, but it's so tied into to either ESPN through Disney or Warner through Turner. So those are still big companies who all subsidized different Chinese properties. And for years and years and years, as a result, we got a lot of wokeness. We got a lot of wokeness. We had a sincere attack on our culture, a sincere push to divisiveness. And it has not just been because of international bankers. A lot of that is, well, a lot of them are funding China as well, but a lot of it's through China directly. China has been a part of our education system for decades. There are so many people at U.S. institutions under the employ of the Chinese government. So this is not a 2020, 2021 issue. I know a lot of us may have been more aware of it recently. Some of us have been aware of this the whole time. I know that as well, because a lot of you guys are smart. But I think the end is nigh for the relationship in China. At least I hope so. I don't know how soon it is. But it's interesting the Hollywood reporters talking about it because they're a mainstream rag. And yes, toxic is catfishing us. Now we know the truth. Now we know the truth. Catfish, yeah. Self-cancellation, the Northern life form is exactly what I think the point was. SJW PSYOP from China is about, yeah. Had. I'm not sure what had. Question mark, because I'm already minutes later and I rant too much. Hail Morgan Holloway. I appreciate both of you guys here because it's a couple. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's both. And I appreciate you all here. And I always just say Morgan Holloway instead of Morgaine. Not sure if I'm mispronouncing that. Been catfish noodling before. Lost videos on YouTube. Let's see. Sup, Morgan? You guys saying what's up to each other? Hell, disease. I thought this is about how to get rid of clap when you get it again. No, I don't know where you guys got that idea, but I appreciate you being here, disease. Appreciate you being here. So it's good to see some pushback on China. It's funny to see them, kind of not take responsibility, so to speak, or their impact on China. But again, hopefully, China has had an influence for disturbingly decades. Hopefully, that's finally starting to change. Because again, part of the reason they can go woke and not go broke is because they're being subsidized, and one of those funders are indeed the CCP. Alrighty, let's see what you guys are talking about. Morgan saying hi to everybody. You guys are always good at saying hi to each other. That's really awesome. Self-censorship is the main ingredient of any authoritarian regime. That's why we have to fight it here. That's why I try not to sit, I'm not saying I let everything go, but I try to be as free on this channel as possible. We have to not censor ourselves. That's why I appreciate your support. You guys keep the channel going. So if YouTube wants to suppress me, like they've done Wookiee, like they've done West, like they've done a lot of channels, you guys keep this going. So it's really appreciated. But Bryman says China's not a threat. Bryman can't even walk upstairs. He shouldn't be taken seriously as a president. I don't think anyone does. He's a figurehead, which they all are, but just more so than most. All right, we talked about Gina Carano. Let's talk about her ex. We know she may or may not be with our own drunk 3PO, but she used to date Superman / the Highlander. Henry Cavill boards John Wick director Chad Stahelski, and I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his name, his Highlander reboot. Now, I don't know how many people are I've been against reboots and remakes, and I'm tired of them, but it's still interesting to see. Superman and Witcher actor Henry Cavill announced he has joined John Wick director's long gestating Highlander reboot. It shows a picture of him in The Witcher. Cavill made the announcement on his Instagram where he shared a screenshot of Deadline article reporting on the news. In his Instagram post, Cavill stated, "Very exciting news today. I've been a fan of Highlander since I was a kid. I actually believe, or since I was a lad, because he's a Brit. From the movies in the 80s, Queen slathered glory to the TV show with an actor who looked remarkably like one of my brothers." He continued, not only being not shy with swords and having a director as talented as Chad Stilansky at the helm is an opportunity like no other. See, this is a tweet or a post. What is the scam? Cavil also shared a photo of the two books. The first is titled "So You're Going to Wear a Kilt," and the other titled "These Bloody Kilts." As Cavil said, you can see from the swipe, I've been dipping in some of my Scottish heritage, inadvertently getting my baseline research underway. Look at there. Guess he's going to go with a more Scottish accent. It's unclear who Cavil will be playing in the Lionsgate Highlander reboot. Deadline's Justin Crowe simply reports sources tell Deadline the Man of Steel star is in talks for one of the lead role in Lionsgate's reboot of the Highlander with director. I'm not going to keep butchering his name, Chad. Crowe later adds the plot of this latest take is unknown, as is rather Cavil will be playing a brand new character into the universe or a character from previous projects. Stilansky gave an update on the film, which has been in development as far back as 2016, back in 2020. So this is a film that they've been working on for 5 years, and it hasn't even started development for real. But he stated in 2020, we're heavy development mode on Highlander, tweaking the script, writing, conceptualizing sequences, how we're going to do everything. We probably have a lot more in-person kind of things, but it hasn't slowed down our development process at all. Previous 2017, he said ratings are second to what we're going to do. Highlander, I think the action is, at least what's in my head, going to fall on the line for sure. So it's going to be action oriented, which is good. He added, we want a design, what we think is aesthetically cool. If met no resistance, they're like, look, whatever you did with John Wick with the gun stuff, we want you to try with the sword stuff. We want you to make something cool and unique, something that's going to make audiences say, wow, I haven't seen that before. That's what you want to hear. In 2016, when he was first announced as the director, he explained why he loved the property so much. I've been a huge fan of the original property since I saw it in high school. Such great themes of immortality, love, and identity, all wrapped in such a colorful mythology. He elaborated, I can't think of a better property that gives me the opportunity to create interesting characters, mythic themes, and action set pieces. The original Highlander was released back in 1986. Starred Christopher Lambert as Connor McLeod, and was directed by Russell McCoy. The film saw McLeod as a race of just butchering the English language, as a race of immortals, as he was mentored by Ramirez, played by Sean Connery, and eventually had to face down his old foe, the Kurgan, played by Clancy Brown. Shout out to does that say Clancy Brown who did Lex Luthor? That's what I know him for. I'm sorry. The movie coined the Cloud classic phrase, there can only be one. It will be shouted for when the immortals beheaded their foes and obtained their knowledge and powers through an ability called the Quickening. Let's see. What do you guys think of Cavil during the Highlander reboot? Let's see what you guys think. Okay. So first, Morgan. She says you can call me Morgan, Morgane, Morgani. I'm going with Morgan. That's a simple way. Morgani. But yeah, again, Morgane I get, but Morgani is probably too much. But I'll go with Morgan. Hell Disease. I'm working on my Star Wars video for May 25th. Stay soon. May the Schwartz be with you. Only got 2 days, so I hope you can get it done. Yep, Biden also said Colin Powell was a bad dude. He also said he didn't want his kids going to racial jungles, and if you don't vote for him, you're not black. Fuck him. Queen's my favorite band from the 70s, and Freddie is my favorite singer of all time. I can listen to him all day and not get tired of him. Hell, Queen, they were pretty good. Cavil, is it too much stuff? True. But is he really? It seems like it, but like, okay, he was in Man of Steel in the Justice League and everything, but like in between the Justice League movie that came out this year, with the Zack Snyder Justice League wasn't a planned release. So you have 2017, he was in the Justice League movie, and then he was in The Witcher. So outside of those two properties, he hadn't really done. It seems like he's done a lot. He did Enola Holmes, I mean, the fact counts, but he really isn't. He just does a normal amount of stuff. He's more in a lot of stuff that he's in a lot of stuff in our space, but it's still about one film a year. Wouldn't it be crazy if they cast Mr. Kurgan? I'll be honest, I've never seen Highlander, so I'm not sure of his lore. So I apologize. Don't at me, don't hate me. Geralt is a Highlander. That's what it looks like. Why don't they cast me? I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe the Bandhammer. Scared of Bandhammer 70s. LOL. Says Cinch Dildo. I can see you as Scottish tongue Spaniard. Says a Newbound Turk 70s. You could do Sean Connery's part. There you go. You could. Hell, all just another red shirt. He's not just another red shirt. He is the red shirt, and I appreciate him being here. And everyone's saying hi to him. Cool, cool, cool. Mission Impossible, Man from Uncle. Man from Uncle is like 5 or 6 years old. And Mission Impossible is again 4 years old. It's still about a movie a year. You know what I mean? He didn't hit like there was a point where Rock was in everything. The Rock was in everything. Henry Cavill's in about a project a year, maybe an extra one. So it still is it's fairly consistent. It's just he's in some there's not that many good projects. So you look at him like he's in everything. People say same thing about Michael B. Jordan, but it's the same thing. He's only doing about a project a year or a major project a year, or sometimes two. How can you in the scout for a department and your muscle tone is nothing to write home about? Jesus, such a dildo, burying people. This says Handy Red Shirt. Just burying everyone. So, I mean, I get that. Henry Cavill, it seems like he's in a lot of stuff. It's more that he's in a lot of our stuff. He does a lot of genre stuff. And so if you do one project a year, you're talking, okay. You know what? I'm gonna pull up his Wikipedia and check out his filmography. That's a good way of seeing what he's done. Actually, let me stop cam so I can see. Let me move away so I don't dox myself because I've done that before. Shout out to Matt for deleting the footage. Let's see, here we go. But you know what? While you guys are saying that, there still is a fatigue is a thing as well. So let's check his IMDb. And about a project a year. A major project a year. Okay. So from Henry Cavill's IMDb, you see Highlander. If Zack Snyder's Justice League, which really shouldn't count because it really wasn't, it was greenlit last year, obviously, but it was already technically done as Justice League. So if you look at his decade, you have, I'm not sure what the Immortals are, Sister Tutors, which is kind of his breakout role. You have, Man of Steel, 2013, 2015, Man from Uncle, 2016, Batman vs. Superman, 2017, Sandcastle, which I honestly hadn't heard of, and then Justice League as the major product. 2018, you have Mission Impossible. Then 2019, you have The Witcher. Then in 2020, you have the Enola Holmes. And again, 2021 includes a reboot of the 2017, a reimagining of a 2017 movie. So it seems like he's in a lot of stuff. And then Highlander. But you look at this. This is only, a handful of projects over the past few years. One of them is a reimagining of a previous one. So it's not really that much. It's just 7 movies between 2013 and 2018. I mean, yeah, but like 2 of them, Sandcastle and Night Hunter, are like, I'm assuming indie things. I never saw this one. Okay. So that's a Netflix movie. He did a Netflix movie in Sandcastle and Night Hunter. A local vigilante. Hey, what the hell is that? I have to do anything. So never heard of this movie either. And I'm not sure. Maybe these are both great films. So there's 7 between 5 years I get, but 2 of them were kind of add-on things. He had a major project per year, basically. And again, really, outside of Enola Holmes, he hasn't had a major project in 2 years. So I mean, again, it's I don't think he's I don't think he's done too much. I don't think he did when we saw Rock and Kevin Hart and everything, or when we saw what's his name? God, I can't think of Mark Wahlberg. He was in everything. I mean, maybe it's getting close, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's 7 movies. Yeah, 23, 22. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know. He's also in that Star Wars Girls Fantasies, which is already a full-time job. Well, that again doesn't count. When was Man of Steel as well as BV? Okay, we ended up going to the IMDb, so we went in to see. Yeah, I can play a shite for sore eyes. A shite for sore eyes. Funny. Anna's a bit too much sometimes. Yeah. Like his Richard Rose says Visceral. Okay. Richard LOL. Let's see. What did he say? Oh, just hell. Oh, it's Hell Stream Elements bots. Appreciate you promoting. He's been doing The Witcher the past 2 years. Yeah. Same with The Rock and Dave Bautista. Yeah, I just think they do a project a year, and if you have it's a project you care about, you notice it. Yeah, there's a couple other projects, but I don't. It's Sandcastle and Night Hunter are these projects that oh man, Henry Cavill was doing too much because he did these projects. I hadn't heard of them before today. I was this many days old, this many years old when I realized and he did these movies. So for my intents and purposes, it was about a major project a year, with some exceptions. And again, I don't know if I count all the holes, but you're right. He did. It took 2 years for The Witcher, says Dubai Turk, and he's right. And yeah, Marky Mark. How can people not remember Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch? Good Vibrations. He is Marky Mark. That's what he is. But what do you think of Henry Cavill as the Highlander? Is that something you want? Nerd Porio asks, when is the new Witcher season? Hell, what is the new Orville season? Yeah, it's going to be a delay for both of those, I believe. I know The Witcher, as according to Henry Cavill, is not going to be good. He said he tried the best he can. But what do you think of the Highlander? Do you think it is too much? Maybe that is. Maybe I'm just giving more credit than he deserves as far as that goes. It could be overexposure. If you're just tired of Henry Cavill playing every role that you care about, do you want to see him in a Highlander reboot? Do you even want to see a Highlander reboot? I personally, granted, I have no exposure to the Highlander. I'm not as big of a fan as some of you may or may not be. And it's probably a movie I need to check out. But I am not a reboot guy. I'm sick of reboots. I'm sick of remakes. I'm sick of redoing. I really want more original properties. Or if you even The Witcher, I would, at least that's an adapted from a book property. We really need properties that are not just redos of things that we already have on film. Mark Wahlberg, worst casting ever is Max Payne. Yeah. And hell, Alexander, I got to get his name right. Alexander Vidakovich. Hopefully I did that right. So Alexander, I appreciate you being here. Showing back from outer space, so to speak. And appreciate you being a part of the channel and everything. Hell, Aiko. I like Henry Cavill, but yeah, no reboots. I agree. I see people saying hi to Alexander, who was here last night when we were doing a live stream at a VW Casual. Okay, we've gone a little bit, so I do want to get to the next story. Actually, you guys talk about it. Visceral says, I think Henry Cavill can do Highlander pretty good, but also agree there's been too many reboots lately. Yeah, way too many reboots, way too much remaking and rehashing. That's I talked yesterday about the independent media sphere being an important thing, and the reboot thing. We need more properties. We need more IPs. Hell, Parrothead. He says, howdy, VW, the people's vigilante. I try to be. I try to do it for the people. So let's see what we have here. I don't really want to talk about this story. I'll sort of talk about it. So Warner Brother, why I'm talking about this? I like Injustice. I like a lot of lore. I didn't pay attention to the second game. I'm not going to really go too in depth in this one. But I'm talking about this because I feel it's funny that Superman has a resemblance to Henry Cavill. I feel like this Injustice thing and all of this destruction of Superman, like Injustice is a good game. It's a good storyline, but it's another evil Superman storyline. And I think this stuff is what does a lot of damage to Superman as a character. Anyone who's old enough to remember, like Superman used to be the default, de facto superhero and one of the most popular pop culture iconographies that you could see. You see that S, it was everywhere in the 90s, 80s. I wasn't allowed, the 80s, really. It was more the late 80s, but the 70s, whatever. It's just a part of the American iconography and a part of Americana. And it's been a fall since the 90s and the early 2000s. And a lot of that is the Superman's too good. He's too perfect. And so they've been deconstructing him for 20 years and they've succeeded. He is now broken into pieces. And so here's an injustice thing. And I'm sure it's going to be a good film. I'm not sure because the animation stuff has been more hit or miss lately. But do we need to see another evil Superman story in a major depiction? I don't believe so. But I'll talk about it. An animated feature based upon the Injustice video games is in development at Warner Brothers, and this info, while confirmed officially, come to us in a subtle, unobtrusive way. It's a Injustice annual because again, the Injustice storyline has been a very popular storyline. Instead of inspiring an expense to have a lavish announcement fitting the popular game series, what the hell is this? That's Burger King. Fitting the popular game series from NetherRealm Studios. WB hid the news in a press release for part 2 of the Batman Long Halloween animated movie coming into summer. A whole video. So this is the press release for Batman the Long Halloween, and they talk about different things they have on the special features. They sneak peek at the animated movie for Injustice. So they had previously announced it. Nothing concrete is known about the Injustice film as of yet, except for the sneak peek that's attached to the Long Halloween Blu-ray special. And I haven't seen the Long Halloween because I know they do a part 1 and part 2. I'm not sure if they're both out already. It looks like part 2 is coming out. So I guess part 1 must be. So no voice cast or character roster is verified, but Grace Randolph of Beyond the Trailer has sources telling her it will be chock full of heroes and villains, which makes sense. Film likely depart too far for the game's plot or the tie-in comics by Tom Taylor, which were good. They were pretty good comics. There's no telling which piece of source material the Justice Project would draw from more, but we can't count on seeing Batman, Superman, Lois Lane, the Joker, and Doomsday in some form, and most of the Justice League. And this is the spoiler alert for Injustice. It's actually early on, but the whole premise is about Superman killing the Joker as the Joker tricks Superman into killing not only Lois Lane, but a huge part of Gotham, or not Gotham, Metropolis. He helps. It says, Joker tricks Superman by using, I think it was a variant of Scarecrow's gas that made him think Lois Lane was Doomsday. And so he killed, and he put a bomb, a nuclear bomb that was linked to her heart rate. So when he kills Lois Lane, it nukes Metropolis, and then Superman's pissed, and so he kills the Joker. I don't know why Batman shot. I mean, after that motherfucker has to die. Unfortunately, Superman lost his mind. That's the bad part. So resistance led by Batman stands in his way, and that's what interlaces the violent gameplay. And that's the premise of Injustice. But it ends with an evil Superman story, and it's showing different patterns for that. I'm just tired of evil Superman. I'm really tired of evil Superman. Let's see what my man Fimris has to say, because I know he's in title part. Okay, you guys are talking. Oh man, you guys are really going in. Okay, let's see what you got. First on Cavil, he can play a cool Connor McCloud, but I'm sick of reboots, make new shit. I agree. Good evening, gentlemen. Alexander saying hi to everyone. Again, hi to Alexander. Hell, says Robert. Appreciate Robert being here. Ewok Superman says disease. Yeah. Oi or LL. Robert. I'm not sure which one. Everyone say hi. No, they can't. I really like the Injustice stories. They have no good writers to make a good animated feature. Yeah, the animated features have fallen off pretty badly the past couple of years, in my opinion. Highlander is one of my favorite movies. A serious, respectful reboot could be good, but the greatness of Connor McCloud was he wasn't a jack superhero, and it was often an underdog who won it anyway. That's one of my criticisms of Henry Cavill. He is so jacked that he has the Rock's problem, where he tries to play a regular role. It's like, no, humans aren't as big as you, bro. There's not a lot of 6'2", 230 guys just walking around jacked to the gills. It's not realistic, bro. Like not from the toxic femininity, like, oh, it's where her organs stay, but it's just like, you don't look like a regular dude. You're not an underdog. You can play the Arnold type character, but you can't just be like, oh, I'm just like he's Sherlock Holmes. Like, you're fucking huge. Why is Sherlock Holmes so jacked? Like, you know what I mean? He's fucking so massive. Certain roles, just like, what? So I can understand that he does not give off underdog vibes. Newbound Turk says, I didn't buy Injustice comic and game. At least they tied it to his mental breakdown after being tricked into killing Lois. But again, evil Superman is killing me. I just show up. Please reconstruct Superman. Please let him be the blue boy. I want to see the big blue boy scout. He's been dead for years. Just Alex will do. I don't mind, however, how you pronounce. I just don't want to carry nuisance with reading. My language is silly and hard. To be fair, so is my language. English is very silly and hard. I'll still go Alexander Vidokovic. Well, probably Alex. I'll probably go Alex, but I'll say it a couple times. Kovic. Sorry. Look, I don't hate Injustice. I actually enjoyed the story of the books and game, but I'm not actually a huge fan of Injustice because the trope of Superman turning evil just because Lois Lane dies. You know what? I would like to see a Superman that doesn't care about Lois Lane like that. Like his whole life, it's getting more weak to just like, okay, you're the most powerful being on Earth, but this one, what happens to this one? What if she just says, you know what? I don't want to date you, man. Too much pressure. I'd rather be with a regular person. That would be an interesting story plot, right? Like, oh, Lois just says, nah, I can't fucking date Superman anymore. I just don't want to. And that's a logical plot, honestly. I would like to see a development like that because it doesn't make sense for him to be this strong and principled of a character and to throw it all away if Lois dies. Hell, Spider-Man doesn't throw everything away when Stacy, passes. So why should he? And how dare you, Alex says, since you're dildo. Because I'm sure if she died, he wouldn't lose it like a lunatic. I mean, come on, he's Superman. He has many who can help him stand when he falls down, especially if it's a world where Mom and Pa Kent are both alive. And well, which it is in Injustice, the beginning of Injustice. But hey, it's an alternate universe, so I guess I can't complain. So I'll go ahead and lose my shit if they make it my main continuity. You can't complain with alternate universes because it's clear they use alternate universe stuff to inform other properties that they create. So I think it's fair to say, that's why I don't like, I like parts of the Joker, but the Joker film, how it treats Thomas Wayne bothers me because that's going to be crossed over into other depictions of him, no matter what. Even though it's an alternate universe, but they will be inspired and bring that back. So Thomas Wayne, who was once this good, benevolent father, is now going to be toxic. And that's my opinion. And the same things happen with Superman. Once you open that floodgate of making an evil Superman, it becomes easier and easier to do. And it's not just DC directly. It's obviously influenced like Brightburn, like The Boys, like Invincible. Evil superpowered Superman. No benevolent big blue Boy Scout anymore. Well, any other reason would be silly. He shouldn't be evil. And again, Spider-Man can get over Gwen Stacy. How come he can't get over Lois Lane? You have Logan. You say you want a good Wolverine movie. Logan is incredible to me. I don't think they'll do better than that. There's no reason they have no talent to do better than what they did with Logan. It's a miracle we got that film. Half of the heroes of Injustice took his side. It wasn't just Superman doing bad things. Very true. Very true. But it's still, that's the catalyst. And you're not wrong. They did have a lot of evil heroes. Also, don't read Superman too much. Got into the dark brooding and Batman and everything. Batman's my favorite character. I really do like Batman. But I am very, very sick of everybody being Batman. I want Superman to be Superman so he can be the counter to Batman. And they can be what balances each other out. I'm sick of Superman being dark and brooding as well. Oh, Jesus. Tyrone Kick goes bad after Popeyes runs out of chicken if a J.J. Abrams production. Jesus Christ. That's like, I feel borderline offended, but I love you, Robert. Hell, Red Lantern Frank. I remember the Red Lantern or Injustice Volume 2. Shout out to Red Lantern Frank. Robert, yeah, that's brutal. So I came up with Tyrone Kid. And the Popeyes chicken sandwiches are good. They're not that good. Nothing. It's not that good. But then again, people have stabbed each other over those things. It's fucking insane. The problem is heroes like Soups, they start to run out of things to actually give them a challenge. They may have to create random crap just to make it like he might not prevail. To me, go with the Lex Luthor as businessman trope. So here's the thing, and you don't have to always use Luthor. Once you've created an all-powerful, disavow Robert, we got this. You're canceling you, Robert, for your racism. What's the comedian who fucked with Tony Hinchcliffe? I'm going to report you, Robert. I'm canceling you. No, I love Robert to pieces. Um, but you make better challenges. Do better. You got to just do better. Give him challenges that don't require his strength. One of the best parts of the original Superman film is that Pa Kent dies via a heart attack. This is something that he can't, you know what I mean? He can't change that. He can't stop that. Him having all the power in the world doesn't stop that. Make Superman be canceled. How about that? Let's, instead of you canceling him and giving Lois Lane a package, make Superman where he's a toxic white male. You want to bring reality to it, make it so Superman is harder for him to be Superman. It's harder for him to be a good person. Make the world dark, but him be the bright light in it, where people don't trust him. I don't mind that stuff, but he still tries to be a good person. That's interesting. Man of Steel woman, Kleenex read the short story. I'm not sure what that was reference to. Spider-Man gave up everything he had to revive his mother. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. That's such a bad. Oh, man, that pisses me off. But you're not wrong, New Bomb Turk. That's such a bad storyline. One more day, brand new day shit. That's such a bad story. That storyline, you know what? That's the destruction of the character. You can say what you will about a race swap. Brother, that storyline did so much fucking damage. I think I'm one of the people that think part of Miles Morales' initial popularity was because of that storyline in a roundabout way. Because I think a lot of people, Spider-Man died. And so when Miles Morales came back, and you can say he's just a black Peter Parker. But they were happy to just have any Peter Parker because Peter Parker had died once he gave in to Mephisto. He died. And so they were just, and I think it came out 3 to 4 years after that storyline. People were just happy to have a Peter Parker, even if he wasn't the Peter Parker. I would love some new movies with new actors and new stories, but a bit of studios taking some risks, proving they can decide what a good actor, good story is, but I think it's a slim chance. I think it's going to be a better chance because we're going to get more independent filmmakers. And yep, he including his marriage to Mary Jane. That was, oh boy, it pisses me off so bad. And Robert said, hell to Justin in the red shirt. And Finite Essay is making lunch. Appreciate your lunch. Oh boy. Mary Jane's a high maintenance pill of a woman, R.I.P. Gwen. Yeah. Yeah, and Mary Jane is a gateway drugs. And a lot of them are, some Mary Jane is ginger, have red hair. So yeah. But yeah, Gwen Stacy, they've actually rebooted her as Spider-Gwen. That's a popular character they've spin off. You were lied to. We've all been lied to. Google lied to you. Everyone saying hi to each other. Red Lantern Frank, another Sunday. LOL. It's no, but you weren't wrong. Aunt May is his mom. Aunt May is his mom. So I knew what you meant. Aunt May is basically his mother figure. So it's the same difference. There's so many evil villains in comics. They need to stop making our heroes evil. That's my main point. That's my main point. It is a sci-fi exploration of the problem Superman would have choosing closing the deal with Lois. That's also a funny thing because he's kind of the proto Peter Parker with Lois. Man of Steel and Woman of Kleenex is reference to, I see. Man of Steel, Woman of Kleenex is a reference to Superman shagging Lois. What could happen if she could control herself? She has to be on top because she doesn't want to risk death. One More Day was horrible for Spidey. Was actually good as a character built for Mephisto. Yeah, maybe it made him more, I mean, he was already a pretty important character, but it's just it's a moment that will live forever in Spider-Man infamy. I like the look of Spider-Gwen. Keep the canon Gwen dead and let Spider-Gwen remain in an alternate universe. She's proven herself to be popular. You can't hate when they make a popular character. You cannot hate because they don't make that many. Holy shit, do they need to make a canon? Stuff like that just ruins everything. I need to read everything as its own separate thing. And honestly, that's a part of why manga has, at least in my opinion, why manga is more popular than American comic books, because the canon is so hard to keep up with, and you find yourself making your own canon up. I mean, I can't. It's like you find yourself reading story arcs and just not giving a fuck about canon, only just wanting to see the story. Where a manga has a volume 1 to volume 100, whatever it is, and there's a sequential story that continues on. Now, sometimes it does reloop itself where you think the most powerful villain is in volume 10 and in volume 25 to somebody who's the bestest ever of that. Yes, Mega has his own issues, but I think the forever canon of superheroes were these 100-year-old arcs and 50 to 70-year-old arcs. It creates a lot of problems for writers and for fans finding out what happens. Lazy Writer says Red Lantern Frank. They did it for a while. All different Marvel came out and wiped out everything. Yeah. Have you seen some of the art in Cyberfront top shelf stuff? That's another reason that comics failed major. The art is not as good as you can get a lot of indie stuff. Lois will get her spleen blown out of her butthole if they ever close the deal. I mean, I would imagine, like I said, she's on top. But he's just, I think she should be okay. But shit, what do you think happened to Lotta Lane back in Smallville when he definitely didn't have control of his powers? Jesus Christ. Speaking of good and evil, let's I don't usually talk Amber Turd on this channel and Johnny Depp. This is not my thing. Honestly, I found myself a little disinterested in the whole story because I'm not for taking sides, even though this bitch is evil. But Johnny Depp sues the American Civil Liberties Union for confirmation of Amber Heard's alleged divorce settlement. I love this. If you don't remember, when they got divorced, she said that her settlement would go to the ACLU. And I'm sure they don't because of political reasons. And Amber Heard is a protected class to a lot of the political elite. I don't think they want to reveal the fact that she probably didn't give them any money, but Johnny Depp is not going to have it. I love his scorched earth policy of fighting to the death because this bitch really has ruined his life. He deserves, some closure. So the ongoing feud between Pirates of the Caribbean actor Johnny Depp and ex-wife and evil thought Amber Turd has been going on for quite a while, and it doesn't seem like it will be coming to an end anytime soon, especially now that Depp is reportedly suing the ACLU. People magazine reports that Depp is taking the ACLU to court because the Pirates of the Caribbean actor has not received a confirmation regarding whether or not Turd actually followed through or her public pledge to donate part of her $7 million divorce settlement to the organization. According to the documents obtained by the outlet, Depp respectfully requests that this court enter an order directing the ACLU witness to fully comply with the subpoenas. Source reveals that the subpoenas are for discovery concerning any donations to ACLU Foundation by Ms. Heard or in her name or any public statements related to such donations, communication with Ms. Heard, those acting on her behalf concerning a relationship with Mr. Depp, a divorce from Mr. Depp, discovering Mrs. Turd's work as an ambassador, whatever that means, for the ACLU Foundation, the conception, drafting, and placement of the op-ed, and communications with Ms. Heard or those acting on her behalf. Concerning the Virginia action and preparation and submission of the Wisner Declaration. That's a lot of legalese. These items are expected to be used by Depp in aid of his $50 million defamation trial against Amber Turd. To further contextualize information shared in January of this year, revealed that Depp legal team alleged that Turd lied about donating part of her divorce settlement to the organization, which is not a shock. This is to say that Aquaman actress didn't donate the money, though, since she did make a donation. Apparently, she did make but it wasn't quite the amount she originally pledged. I see. She probably donated like $50. Members of Depp's legal team for alleging she kept the remainder for herself. Turd had previously pledged to donate the entirety of her $7 million divorce settlement in rough equal amounts to the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. However, documents obtained by the Daily Mail revealed that the actress only donated a sum of $100,000 and then only to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. Now, look. In a vacuum, I'm sure the Children's Hospitals of Los Angeles really appreciate that $100,000 donation. That's a huge donation for their perspective. So I don't want to just poo-poo on a donation for charity, even though we know a lot of people use charity as a just going on, make sure I say the right thing. A lot of people use charity as a shield for shit. And you know what? Wookiees Life Matter. I'm just saying, the divorce of multimillionaires don't concern me. What concerns me is the American Civil Liberties Union, a group that's supposed to be a proponent for civil liberties, but instead is a 1984 wrong speak or double speak organization. What I mean by that, like the miniature in the 1984, the Ministry of Information provides disinformation. So too does the American Civil Liberties Organization, which is supposed to protect civil liberties. They actually suppress civil liberties. So them being sued is why I'm covering it. Otherwise, I don't give a shit about Amber Turd or Johnny Depp for that matter. I mean, I like some of his movies, but I mean, I'm sorry you married a dumb bitch. That's on you, man. But him suing the ACLU, that's to be in my wheelhouse. So here we go. Keep going. So his legal action could force the nonprofit to provide evidence that Turd donated the divorce settlement money in order to confirm or deny the actress opted to keep the money instead. My interest is what will they do? Because are they going to be play the political game? Turd's a part of the political, right thinkers. So are they going to just ignore it and fight it because they don't want people to know that she didn't really do shit and she doesn't give a fuck? Or are they just going to be honest and say, you know what? She didn't give a shit. How much are they going to fight it? That's my interest. Because I think the ACLU is a very corrupt, shitty organization. So anything that can destroy them, I'm interested in. Anything that can destroy their credibility, I'm interested in. Is this going to matter in the mainstream? No. Is this going to matter in the grand scheme of things? Probably not. But it will establish some precedent on how the ACLU behaves. And so that's why we're talking about this. For anyone who's like, I don't give a fuck about Amber Turd. Because I don't either. I really don't. As much as I love Tug and a lot of people who are really into this thing, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not going to lie. So People magazine reported that Turd donated the money to both charities via anonymous donors. Okay, that's her story apparently, because People magazine is a shill rag. Support this. Turd's attorney provided their own evidence, which showed that the Aquaman star has in fact gifted $1 million to the ACLU and $850,000 to the Children's Hospital anonymous donors, which is not $3.5 million, which she sort of agreed to. But it's still a lot of money. It's still a lot of money. Again, I don't really care about the ACLU. You get money, they're an evil demon organization, but the Children's Hospital in LA, that's pretty cool. Every dollar they can get, I'm going to be positive on. On top of this, the Heard legal team said the actress actually pledged to pay over 10 years, and thus argued there was nothing dishonest with the lack of donations she made to the ACLU and LA Children's Hospital. She's currently being investigated for perjury with LAPD. So I guess she lied about an incident where Johnny Depp attacked her. And there's body cam footage that seemingly proves that Johnny Depp never smashed up the penthouse the couple was sharing at the time of the incident. So again, that's not my interest. So I'm trying to skip through that, see if there's anything else about the ACLU. Then I'll see what you guys have to say. I don't care. Don't care. Yep, stuff about the body cam, stuff about the thing. That's it. So okay. It's $100 million countersuit to Depp's defamation. So this is going to be legal leads for a while. I don't care. As Wookie Lives Matter said, let me see. Oh man, where is it? Oh, did I lose it? As Wookie Lives Matter said, I don't care about the divorce settlement of multimillionaires don't concern me whatsoever. I'm the same way. I know there's Visit Reels is justice for Johnny Guy. No disrespect to that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with wanting Johnny Depp to have justice. I think a lot of men were interested in this just for the precedent. Because a lot of men are sick of what the family courts have done with divorce settlements in general and want to see how this goes. And a lot of men have suffered fucking domestic abuse and know that they can't say anything, especially in this climate. So I think that's where the concern for Johnny Depp has been. But relative to this, I really would like to see what the ACLU does. I really want to see, are they going to reveal documents to show what happened and what happened. I really, I don't really like the American Civil Liberties Union or whatever I called them. I probably did it earlier, but I don't like them. I think they are anti-civil liberties. I think they're very much destructive to civil liberties, and they purport not to be. So I really want them to, I want them to own up to whatever happened. So let's see what you guys are talking about. Now all the Spider-Man women are in one universe, except for 2099 and the future stuff. That's stupid. 07 Johnny. Not sure what the '07 stuff means. Sorry, I missed you, Parrot. Forgot to switch the live chat. No worries. Justice for Johnny says, Visit Real. Divorce of multimillionaires don't concern me. We already went through that. Subscribe to Vigilante Williamson. He lives in a secret luxury RV under the river, ready to defend us for evil pop culture. I do not have an under the river RV. Injustice, Johnny Among Us, says Robert. Fun fact, Vig Depp is a big fan of Run the Jewels. Okay, that's cool. I do like Run the Jewels. Shout out to other fat rapper, Killer Mike. Sort of Miles and Peter are both Spider-Man in the same universe. Makes no sense. Yeah, just to demasculate Miles Morales, to make sure he's less relevant, and to make sure it's more Spider-Man to make Peter less relevant. It ruins both characters. So you can emasculate white men and black men equally. There you go. Whatever, my ex-wife was 1,000 times worse than anything I heard about Amber's Heard. Did your ex-wife cut your finger off, Wookie? And shit in your bed? It's pretty bad. And fuck a billionaire? In your bed before she shot in it? Get all pretty bad. And this is all while I'm not getting married ever. Miles would never be Spider-Man, but they keep pushing. Hell, everyone seems to be up in here. Yeah, a lot of people are here, Mike B. Sticks. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, since you do that is an achievement, Wookie. I mean, Jesus, man. Worse, because she cut a motherfucker's finger off. She fucked up his career. She feigned domestic abuse. She shat on his bed. She fucked other people. Like, she was horrible. So if your ex-wife was 1,000 times worse, yeah, man. I'm not a big time, but I will never be married in this system of things. Is it biatches be crazy? I see. They do be crazy. Says such a deal though. Jesus. Amber Turd seems about par for the course, really. Fuck me. I hope, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I agree. I never attempted to watch any of that. Amazing Spider-Man was the last one. Oh, you talking about the over Spider-Man movies? Otherwise, did show up. ACLU. Yeah, American Communist Litigation Union. Absolutely. You know what, Robert? Now, her and my man's queen Brie Larson. This is what happens when you get a basic girl who knows a makeup tutorial. Now, when I still smash, my standards be damned. Unfortunately, I would smash a lot of girls I shouldn't, based upon the looks. But like, that's not an accomplishment. That's not like, oh, you must be hot because Vigilante Williamson smash you. That doesn't mean shit. So like, Amber Turd is not that attractive. She's another a basic 6 or 7. Knows him, she has all this Hollywood makeup. You're like, oh my God, she has those demon eyes. That's another thing. Those eyes, that thousand cock stare, you can just see the demon in her. And I thank God for autism. Once you can recognize that pattern of demon eyes, you always see it and it'll always scare you. So shout out to autism for that. Robert, yeah, again, I don't know if I can do it. I mean, I would do it because I'm me, but I would see those demon eyes and I would hope the best. Hope the guy shows a woman. Again, I'm fat, so she wouldn't. That's what everyone assumes. You know what though? A lot of these bitches suck at that. A lot of these bitches aren't even that good. That's the truth. All the best Spider-Man's animated. Spectacular Spider-Man is a great series. I see. I don't remember seeing that. I remember the 90s Spider-Man series. And Spider-Man is Amazing Friends in the 80s or 70s. But yeah, I didn't watch Spectacular Spider-Man. It's not a principle who will win. It's just that Johnny Depp is being attacked and Amber Turd protected only for being a woman. It's a matter of wokeness attacking Johnny Depp. Yeah. But I think who will win is a part of it as well, man. I think people are invested in seeing Johnny Depp get justice. 07 equals salute. Okay, now I know. Wow, Wookie. I'm glad you're divorced, bro. I'm glad you're out of it, man. Whoo. Listen, man. And this is becoming a bigger theme more and more. These crazy women. And part of it is because we salute them, I'd still smash. And we've given a lot of these women a lot more. We've enabled their evilness. Throughout history, when you enable evil, you get more of it. Is all women do? Are all women evil? No, they're not. You know what I mean? Morgan Holloway's in a happy relationship. They're a couple. There's people who can couple. There are people who can still pair bond and what have you. But man, when you look at marriage in this country, it as an institution, it's just failing. It's just failing, and it's sad. I'm really sorry for you. Not to feel sorry in a weak way or anything, but I'm really sorry you went through that, Wookie. It's complete bullshit. Yeah, my heart goes out to you. My heart genuinely goes out to you that you went through worse than what Johnny Depp went through. Because that's uncalled for. It's unfair and it's unfortunate. And this is why a guy like me is never going to get married. I cannot take the risk. Give it a few years. The Johnny Amber thing will be a movie of itself. Yeah, we'll see how it'll probably be propaganda as disease for all propaganda, says Alexander. I do think it'll be a propaganda film. If I could have given up a figure set, the crap she put me through, I'd do it. Holy shit! Yeah, 1,000 cocks there. And Mike Beats this says New Mom Turk. Good to see. Who needs marriage? Yeah, marriage is done. Marriage. Not all women are crazy, says Alexander. Plenty of good women out there, but the institution of marriage is broken. Institution of marriage is broken. And she was fine as hell, to be honest. Yeah, that's the problem. We give nothing wrong with a beautiful woman, but they shouldn't have any more power than that. Disease says later, I have to go. Later, everyone, have a good stream. Or I gotta go. So I appreciate you being here, Disease. Morgan Holloway, who was lurking, says a lot of women are fucking crazy. They are. Yes, there are plenty of good women. I'm not saying they aren't. They aren't. Let's see, I am a female, but I am the master of my house. Let's see. Power of tits is overwhelming. Layer Disease. People say about disease. Yeah, I'm not getting married. I have no desire to get married. No desire to get married at all. At all. At all. And things like that. And what Wookie Lives Matter said, and what Johnny Depp went through, and what the divorce rate is like 50 to 70%, and 80% of those divorces are initiated by women. A man can lose half of what he earned. And for me, earning things has not been an easy task. So to build up something and to potentially lose it, there's no amount of beauty worth it. There's no amount of beauty worth it. So it's a sad thing. I think a lot of society's ills are the destruction of the family structure. So it's a sad thing to see. But we're not going to end on sadness. We end on positivity on this show, the Vigilante Williamson Show. We are near the end, about 2 hours. And I did not expect to go quite this long, but I don't mind. A couple of really positive, cool stories. A woman pays for a stranger's birthday cake at a grocery store to honor her late son's birthday. An Indiana woman went to pick up her son's birthday cake at a local Kroger. Shout out to Kroger. Old Vigilante used to work at Kroger once upon a time, only to learn that this cake has been paid for by a stranger. When Carolyn Nick arrived at the Playfield Kroger, she was told that the cake had already been paid for by an anonymous woman who left a note. The note read, "Today is my 36th or 35th, my son's 35th birthday, his fifth in heaven. I want to honor and remember him by paying it forward. May you make tons of precious memories to remember for a lifetime. God bless you and yours, Tyler's mom." Oh. Carolyn posted a note on a Facebook group, the town of Plainfield Chatter, thanking Tyler's mom. "Dear Tony, you know who you are. I want to express how moved I am. This means so much that my husband and I cried together. With the turmoil of things going on, it reminds us what really matters, life." She wrote, "Yes, it does. Life does matter. All lives matter, believe it or not." A heartwarming post received an overwhelming reaction from the residents in the Facebook group. So it's just a cool story about a grieving mom trying to pay it forward to another family, buying somebody else's son's birthday cake as her late son. Doesn't really explain the details of how her son passed, but it's just a good story, a good wholesome story to end this crazy episode. Another good wholesome story. We're not done. A professor buys a crib to help a student with an infant daughter. Now, I'm not going to just talk about the destruction of marriage, and a lot of that has been the rise of the single mother. So I'm not sure if this mother's single. It doesn't really say that in the story, but still a positive story nonetheless. An MIT professor brought a traveler's crib for his office to help a student with a 9-month-old child. Dr. Troy Littleton is a professor at neuroscience at MIT. He shared a photo of the crib he purchased on Twitter. "My favorite new equipment purchased for the lab, a travel crib to go in my office so my graduate student can bring her little girl to work when necessary, and I get to play with her while mom gets some work done." Kind of creeps me out. I'm not going to lie. In this world, win-win. And so in this world, I'm a little creeped out, but it's still a positive story that he bought this crib so his this mom can learn about neuroscience, women in STEM. How about that? To little surprise, the tweet went viral with over 117,000 likes and 8,000 retweets. Well, that little tweet blew up. He wrote in response, however, I wish people were all able to spot the real hero. It's the graduate student mom. She's amazing to all. She has to she's amazing to do all she has to do with her daughter, still keep up her thesis project research. Happy Mother's Day to all, they deserve it. Shout out to all the moms. Not sure, where the dad is. I'm not going to get into that conversation per se because it's still a positive story. Also, not going to get into the potential creepiness of this guy buying the crib. That's just how my mind works because I don't trust anybody or anything in this goddamn world. Real quick, did anyone say anything on D Live? No, it doesn't look like anyone say anything on D Live. So I will see what you guys say on the chat. Then I'll hit the music that Matt Mardigan hates on, and then we will get out of here. So later disease says Wookiee lives matter. If you don't set clear boundaries or early on, your relationships will end up being hell. That's very true. You have to establish things from jump. And I think as an older age, I am blessed. I have no kids, at least I know about, and I don't have any thing like that. And I can establish it. I can build up my own home and establish the rules from jump. And yeah, it's nice to like to hear shit like that. Yeah, we always like to hear positive stuff. So we end on positive stuff. Drop the link, VW. I'm going to make one of my friends civil. Drop the link to that. Or make for one of my friends cry. Oh, okay. Which story? I'll drop the link to both. Because I actually exited out of one. I can get back into it. So yeah, let me drop the link. Make your friends cry. Making friends cry. Here's the link about the birthday cake mom. And then this is the link if you guys are wondering about the daughter. So yeah, that's wholesome. We have to end in wholesomeness, man. Talk about all the craziness. The one about the cakes. Yeah, I already put both links there. That's a lot. Lock. She's going to bawl her eyes out. So I guess you make your friends cry is always cool. I've posted content. Check it out. Yes, Finra does have content now. So please check out Finra. Please sub the Finra. I know a lot of you guys have. So I posted both links. And that's the one. Yeah, you want the cake link. So yeah, we want to end on a wholesome note. We always like ending on a wholesome note. So I know a lot of people have already left. But I appreciate everybody for having been here. Matt Mardigan hates this song. I made this damn song. And it's, if people don't know this, it's the same scale. As it gets towards the end, it's like a reflection of the original theme. They were both made for a video to be soundtracky. So I like this song. So I don't care what Matt Mardigan thinks, but this does symbolize the end. So I appreciate Alexander Vidokovic, Robert 07. I guess it means salute, and I salute you, Robert, even though you're apparently racist against Tyrone Kent. Fever the Ice Wolf, who is now making content and plugging his content. Please sub to him if you haven't already. He is now an active channel, close to 100 subs. Wookiee Lives Matter, I appreciate. Morgan Holloway, who I also appreciate, or Morgan, I forgot the other one. Again, Fever, such a dildo. Agree, it is wholesome. Who else was here? Disease was here. He had to leave just a little bit before the end. Vizarel was here. That 70s rock fan was here. A lot of other people. Theme Park Casual, I know, was here at one point. Mike Beast Dix, he was here. Stream Elements Bot was here. Trying to plug stuff. Just Another Red Shirt. It was not Just Another Red Shirt. He's the Red Shirt. He was here. Robert is here, or was here. New Bomb Turk. If I didn't say your name, forgive me. He was also here. Is that? There's a bunch of other people who showed up. Latino Slash showed up. Parrothead showed up at some point. I appreciate everybody showed up. Red Lantern Frank. How can I forget about Red Lantern Frank? Appreciate everybody who showed up. I appreciate everybody who's been here. Yes, Google lied to you. Facebook lied to you. You were lied to by a lot of organizations, and a lot of people showed up. And so if I didn't say your name, please blame my head, not my heart. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe, please do so. If you're watching the playback, hi, I appreciate you from the past. Thank you for going through the whole stream. I know a lot of people do. Even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I appreciate it.